From the happiest place on earth, Maplewood Park at Malden Catholic High School in Malden, Mass. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Tonight, it is the Blue Sox running it back against the Malden Maddogs for the second consecutive game, for the Blue Sox anyways. Blue Sox enter plays the only unbeaten and untied team in the ICL at 2-0, while the Maddogs enter play at 1-2. Good evening, everybody. Sam Feely here with you, ready to bring you the play-by-play story. Maddogs falling to the Middlesex Expos last time out Sunday afternoon. 4-3 was the final. Expos were down their final 6 outs offensively. And then 1 second, folks. Got the starting line for the Blue Sox from Bruce. 1 second. And at any rate, Expos were down 3-2 down their final 6 outs and came back with 2 in the bottom of the 6th to hold on to the 4-3 win over the Mad Dogs. Meanwhile, the Blue Sox having to squeak out, it seemed, a 5-run victory over the Mad Dogs on Friday night. 14-9 was the final of that game, but it was a 7-0 Blue Sox lead after 2. Mad Dogs came back with a furious rally to tie it halfway through 8-8, but the Blue Sox outscoring the Mad Dogs 6-1 from that point on to pick up their second win as many games this year. We are just about set for some baseball, and hello to Owen Screese's family checking in from Connecticut as he fires the first pitch at 8:02, and that is foul the other way, out of play. We are underway, strike 1 to the Blue Sox leadoff hitter. He's had to snap the lineup from Bruce. Jack Pasiak, who's made quite the impression the first 2 games with the Blue Sox, is now behind 0-2. Screese, a product of Roger Williams University, teammate of Luke Mealy down there in Rhode Island. That'll be rocketed up the middle past the diving second baseman Mealy into center field for a leadoff base hit for one Jack Pasiak. And you don't have to be right at field level to hear how hard that one came off the bat back up the box. So Pasiak is aboard, and here is Jake McElroy. And McElroy swings and misses at a pitch probably up and in for strike 1. Scarice this year for Roger Williams pitched 12 innings and had a .675 ERA with 7 strikeouts. Did not have a decision. 0-1 is the count. Pasiak holds, pitches down and away for a ball, evens the count at 1. I know this is not the best angle for those of you who might be watching a game from Maplewood for the first time, but make do with what you can, right? My kingdom for a press box. And I say that, and while I don't know what is going to happen here at Maplewood, I do know that Maplewood is going to be closed effective June 30th for the very least a resurfacing, and that is certainly one of the maybe the biggest complaint about this yard. As Pasiak takes off, the pitch is down away. Throw on to second is not in time. It caroms into left field, and Pasiak is going to take off where no one is covering the third base bag after McLaughlin went into left to try and get it. So it ends up being a stolen base and an error that puts Pasiak 90 feet away with a 2-2 count. We'll reach for this one, pop it up right side. Might be playable, but it gets into the safety net. And we will do it again at 2-2. Eric Ramirez is on deck. In a bandbox like Maplewood, very imperative to deal with him in a situation like this with the bases empty and one out. It is a G5 that produces an RBI and the first out of the ball game. It is 1-0 Blue Sox. Here is Ramirez. Playing in his second game of the year, had a couple of hits. Stolen base and runs scored against the Melrose Americans last Wednesday. And he takes down and away for ball one. One knows the count. Fouled off and now for a baseball edition of Come On, Man. Yeah, I did. Maybe not the best angle with the bar in the way in the backstop, but I can't, unfortunately. Cable length, skill issue, I know. 2-2. This is also probably the worst ballpark to have the camera right up against the fence, too, knowing how short the backstop is. Ramirez with the 2-2. Able to hold off on that curveball coming in the front door, but missed it, and it is a full count. Ramirez fouls this one to the right side and out of play. Good look by the first baseman Bauer, one of many extremely talented offensive players on this Mad Dogs lineup. Nothing doing there, though. Still 3-2 to Ramirez. Frank Landero due up next. Good spoil by Ramirez. Do it again at 3-2. Laces this one to left. Beautiful at-bat by E. And he gets on board with the second hit of the inning for the Blue Sox. Well, if you're Scarice, one way to look at it, you are just one pitch away from getting out of this one with just the one run allowed. Here's the cleanup man, Frank Landero, who takes a strike. 0-1. Ramirez takes off, and it's fouled into the screen for strike two. Landero, 3 hits and 6 at-bats in his first 2 games with the Blue Sox. walking a couple of runs and 3 steals on top of that. High for a ball, not a bad idea there to see if Ramirez was going to run and maybe try and get a high fastball up there for maybe a little bit of an easier setup for the catcher, Kinsella, but no run, no swing, 1-2, and that'll be down and away, 2-2 to Landero. Landero from Orlando, played college ball at Eastern Nazarene before finishing his career at UMass Boston, and it is a full count. Another full count here. And Anderson Jimenez is due up next. Grace comes set. Runner goes. Pitch is driven deep into center field. Remember, it's only 3:35 to dead center here, and it is caught against the wall. Ramirez able to get back to second, back to first rather, and thought about going back to second, but stays there on a fly ball. It's as far as you can hit it to dead center in this park. Alas, it is out number 2. And another fine sound off the bat too, but bad news for Landero. And now here is AJ. Jimenez takes a strike, 0-1. 24 pitches already in the first inning for Scarice. Pickoff attempt back safely is E. Remember, it's only 3:45 down the lines and 3:35 to dead center as Ramirez getting his steps in here. Banana ball. 0-2. At the very least, Maplewood will be resurfaced after it's closed on June 30th. Not sure if they're going to do anything about the dimensions here. Not sure what you could do, but it's one of those quirks of this league. This park. Jimenez and a left for a base hit. Some great 2-strike hitting in this inning. Even on Landero's flyout. Ramirez up to second. And here is Pat Casserly getting the start in left field today. Both runners go. Throw down to third is not in time. And Ramirez, I thought he was going to do the kip up after sliding into third. To no avail, though. He just gets up on his own in the end. 1-0 is the count. Runners at second and third. And that's the other thing about the surface as it is now, with it being turf. It's very easy to overslide without proper sliding pits. Casserly takes outside. The count is 2-0. Scarice rapidly approaching the 30-pitch mark here in the first inning. And a hitter's count for Cass. Hits it the other way, foul and out of play, 2-1. So you got Ramirez at third, Jimenez at second, with 2 down here in the first. Casserly hits it the other way, gobbled up at second base, on to first. A little bit of a short hop to the first baseman, Bauer, but disaster averted for Scarice and the Maddogs. They allow the 1 run, just the 1 run, on 3 hits with 1 error and 2 left. Half an inning in the books. Blue Sox 1, Maddogs coming up. LSP and Shipping Shield are partners in card. Shipping Shields are the eco-friendly sports and gaming card shipping protectors trusted by yours truly. Made in the U.S. and Canada on 100% recyclable cardboard. Use the link and codes on the screen or in the description for a discount on your order. We may receive a commission from those orders, but we thank you for your continued support of, say it with me, class, whatever this is. We go to the bottom of the first, and Matt Draper on normal rest will start the second of the Blue Sox first 3 games. On opening night against the Americans, picked up the dub in 5 innings, allowed 3 hits, 2 earned runs, walked 5 though, but struck out 8. And this is the Maddogs lineup he will face. It'll be Luke Whitney leading it off in center, followed by Luke Mealy getting to start at second this time rather than short as he did on Friday night. Derek Bauer at first. Sam Browning is the DH. Zev Moore is the left fielder. Logan Gillis is the extra hitter. Colin Kinsella is behind the plate. Teddy McLaughlin is at third. Danny Crossman is at short. And Hector Roman rounds out the lineup in right. Draper picked up his 11th win to just 2 losses in his regular season career with the Blue Sox on opening night, and he delivers strike 1 to Luke Whitney. That bounces to the plate and then to the backstop for ball 1. Drapes made 1 appearance against the Mad Dogs in the regular season last year. It was his final start of the year on July 29th. Went the distance and got the dub, allowing 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 9 Ks. He fouled off, and the count will be 1-2 to Whitney. Whit has played in now all 4 games so far for the Mad Dogs this year and has an OPS of 744 with 3 ribbies. Laced the other way, and the liner is caught at short for out number 1 by Jimenez. So the leadoff man retired for the reigning ICL everything, Luke Mealy. Mentioned last time on Friday that Mealy, as he grounds this one the other way to second, Landero, 1 pitch, 1 out to get Luke Mealy 2 down. Mentioned during Friday's game that the last player in ICL history before Mealy to win any 3 of Rookie Hitter of the Year, Outstanding Hitter, MVP, and the batting title was Jeff Costello. And our Blue Sox baseball trivia question tonight builds on that, which we'll give that to you after this half inning as Derek Bauer takes a strike and he is behind 0-1. Bauer waits that one out, up and away, and the count will be 1-1. Apologies for the error on the count entry. Bauer grounds this one to short. Jimenez, off-balance throw, and not in time. Infield single for Bauer keeps the line moving. Bauer went 0 for 3 with a strikeout on opening night against the Expos, but he is a vaunted figure in Mad Dogs history. Has had a 1267 OPS in 2019 and a career .454 average with the Maddogs. And a swing and a miss by another terrific offensive player for the Maddogs in Sam Browning. He is behind 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Browning making his season debut this year. 2024 posting an OPS of 1282. Up and away for a ball. 3 homers and 12 ribbies with 17 walks compared to just 7 strikeouts in that 2024 campaign for Sam Browning. Just 18 games, too. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Side is retired. The Draper family loving the gas there, and we are through 1-0 Blue Sox. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Sponsor our content for as little as $12, I wish. $25 a spot, reading the pitch count. $25 a spot, whether you want to promote a business, product, or event, or send a message of support to a player, team, or coach. Email yours truly for all the deets. And as we go to the top of the second, as promised, here's our Blue Sox baseball trivia question. Before Luke Mealy and Jeff Costello, who was the last ICL player to win any 3 of the ICL MVP, Rookie Hitter, Outstanding Hitter, and Batting Title awards in the same season? Do your digging, and we'll give you the answer later on. Scurry's back out there for his second inning of work. Had to fire 30 bullets, but got through the inning with just the 1 run allowed on a ground out. And here is Brian Acosta in the DH slot tonight to lead things off in the top of the second. Acosta fouls off the first one, strike 1. The Acosta, Sanchez, and Harry Tucker leading things off here in the top of the second. And another foul the other way, and it is 0-2 to Acosta. Acosta has played in all 3 games so far this year. He's 2 for 4 with 3 ribbies. All 2 of those hits and all 3 of those ribbies coming in the win over the Maddogs on Friday night. 1-2 is now the count to Brian. Brian had a career year last year with a .916 OPS. Waits on this one, pulls it down the third base line. It is a fair ball. Acosta around first, on his way to second, and an automatic double as the ball, I guess, rolled out a play out of our view, but saw the umpire put the 2 fingers up for 2 bases, and it is a leadoff double for Acosta. First extra base hit of the night for the Blue Sox. Runner in scoring position. And now here's Manny Sanchez. Sanchez takes one down the pipe for strike 1, looking for his first hit as a Blue Sox. 0 for 2 with 2 Ks against the Americans on Wednesday, and 0 for 1 against the Maddogs on Friday. First hit, if he were to pick it up here, would All likelihood produces first Blue Sox RBI. Sanchez is the extra hitter tonight. Runner takes off for third, swing and a miss, throw down to third. Short hops the third baseman, and into third with a steal is Acosta. So the count will be 0-2 to Sanchez, but now with a runner 90 feet away. Now he is a fly ball. Maybe even a ground ball to bring home the run because the infield is not in here. And a swing and a miss instead. First strikeout for Scarice. One down. Here is Harry Tucker. Outside for a ball, 1-0 to Tuck. Tuck is 1 for 4, with a double on the year so far, and he swings and misses, 1-1. Well, if you're a Maddogs fan, you're hoping that at this point, Scarice has just got the jitters out of his system in the first inning, and hoping that things are starting to settle down here in the second. Again, through 30 pitches in the first inning, but only allowed the 1 run on the 3 hits. A leadoff double by Acosta, and then he steals third. He's still there with 1 out now and a 2-1 count to Tuck. Got Sanchez swinging. Check swing, and no appeal, and it is 3-1. Again, if you let him on, it just gives you one more way to get out of the inning. Put the potential inning-ending double play in order. Tuck getting the start at first base tonight. Grounds this one up the skee ball ramp, cut off by Mealy, and that'll be the second Blue Sox run scored on a ground out tonight. Acosta scores RBI for Tuck, and it is 2-0, but now with 2 down. And most importantly, if you are the Maddogs, the base is empty. Brendan Doyle, the catcher, the number 10 hitter in the Blue Sox lineup. Try to keep the line moving here. Doyle playing in his second game. He was 0 for 2 with a run scored against Melrose. Picks up his first hit of the year with a base hit up the middle to turn the lineup over for Jack Pasiak. Pasiak led off the game with a base hit, stole second, got to third on an error on the same play. As that goes to the backstop, and Doyle will take second on the wild pitch, and it is 1-0 to Jack. Pasiak came around to score the game's first run on the ground out to third off the bat of McElroy. Both Blue Sox runs so far coming on groundouts. Have 5 hits so far, counting for the 2 runs, and 4 stolen bases. And a 1-0 count to Pasiak. Takes a strike. 1-1. No one appearing to be warming right now for the Mad Dogs behind Scarice. Pasiak comes up empty there, 1-2. Down away. Evens the count at 2 after a 30-pitch first inning. We're looking at a 20-pitch second inning for Scarice. McElroy due up next. 2-2. Hit into the gap in right center field, and that is going to get down, bounce all the way to the wall. Doyle will score. Pasiak is on his way to third, and he will slide in there safely with a triple. Now here's Jake McElroy. RBI ground out his first time up, takes a strike. 0-1. 2 runs home here in this top of the second for the Blue Sox. McElroy takes one with the knees. Strike 2. That is the second triple already of the year for Jack Pasiak. He now has 6 hits on the year, and those include 2 triples and a double. He also picks up his first RBI of the season. Stolen base earlier was his second of the year. It is not quite 0-3 yet. Sorry, Mad Dogs fans. That is just outside, despite the frame job done by Kinsella. And it'll be 1-2. So multi-hit games in each of his first 3 games with the Blue Sox for Pasiak. Down and away, 2-2. McElroy was 1 for 2 with a couple of runs in his season debut against the Mad Dogs on Friday. Already picked up his 3rd RBI of the year on his ground out last time up. And takes outside 3-2. So from 0-2 to 3-2 for McElroy, wearing the jersey number of another great Blue Sox center fielder, Pete Frates, with Eric Ramirez due up next. Payoff pitch with Pasiak at third. Here it is. And that'll be skied into shallow left center. That get down? Oh, my goodness. Lost it in the lights. McElroy reaches. It is 4-0. McElroy got under that a bit too much into left center field. Lost in the lights by both the shortstop Crossman and the left fielder Moore. And the Mad Dogs pay for it. Now they have to deal with Eric Ramirez again. With a 4-0 lead for the Blue Sox here. And he fouls that one off for strike 1. Ramirez with a single and a stolen base. His last time up. But of course, an early Blue Sox lead against the Mad Dogs means nothing. If you saw Friday night's game, in which the Blue Sox led 6-0 after 1 and 7-0 after 2. But the Mad Dogs managed to level it at 8 as they try to pick off McElroy going back to second, not in time. Remember, the Mad Dogs leveled the game at 8 in the top of the fourth. Blue Sox ended up winning 14-9, but it was the most skinny of your teeth 5-run win I think you'll ever see. Here's one into left field, and they're going to put the brakes on McElroy at third, so it'll be runners at the corners. As Ramirez picks up his second hit of the ball game in as many at-bats. McElroy to third, and now here is Frank Landero, trying to improve on his fly out to center last time up. Hit it about as deep as you can to that shallow 335 center field marker without getting it out. Here's a pop-up on the left side of the infield, and that will be handled by the third baseman, Teddy McLaughlin, for the out. That retires the side, but the Blue Sox pick up 3 more runs on 5 more hits and leave 2 and lead 4-0 after a buck and a half. The LSP store is open. Get yourself one of several different designs of stickers, shirts, or other merch, including some stuff with my dog, Tina the Longarina, on it, and some words I've probably said on this here YouTube channel over the years, including a brand new show that just posted this morning. If you go to the use the QR code to go to the spring store, you'll see it. It something I uttered on a Fisher broadcast. Hey, Anthony Perry, how you doing? Over the spring, and I think you'll all agree with the sentiment it conveys. Baseball is so stupid. Again, scan the QR code on your screen to buy. We go to the bottom of the second. It'll be Zev Moore, Logan Gillis, and Colin Kinsella due up for the Mad Dogs here, as Moore, the left fielder, will lead things off against Matt Draper. Only needed 12 pitches to get through the first inning, and Moore is just out in front of this one for strike one. Meanwhile, 30-pitch innings in each of the first 2 for Owen Scarace. 0-1 is the count to Zev Moore. Playing in his second game of the year. Went 1 for 1 with a double and run scored against the Expos last time. He might have extra bases here, but takes a funny turn around first as he hit it down the right field line. Has to settle for a single. That's another thing that, create some urgency for the resurfacing that'll happen after June 30th here at Maplewood. The area right next to the first base bag as you turn, or where you get your lead from if you're on first base, it's basically like rebuilt with another patch of turf that's a little more elevated than the rest of the turf on this field, as Gillis comes up empty for strike one. I think that's what caused Moore to stumble a bit going around the first base bag. Thankfully did not get hurt or anything, and he's aboard with a leadoff single. An 0-1 count to Gillis, who hits this one the other way, foul and out of play to make it 0-2. So Moore with his second hit, and if I said he was 1 for 1, I meant he was 1 for 3 of the double on the run scored against the Expos. Gillis is 3 for 6 on the year. Grounder to short, 6-4. Throw gets away from the first baseman. It's backed up, and in fact, they're going to give Gillis second base. So Moore is retired 6-4. Gillis reaches on the fielder's choice, but then advances, is awarded second on the error. So it'll be a runner at second with one down. And here is Kinsella. Kinsella grounds this one to second. Nice job waiting on it by Landero. This turf can be quite tricky to handle sometimes. Two down as Gillis gets to third. And let's see what Teddy McLaughlin, the former Lawrence Academy Spartan, can do. Teddy takes strike one on the outside corner. Not too thrilled with the call, it seems, but it is 0-1. Teddy playing in his second game of the year was 2 for 3 against the Expos on Sunday with a run scored. He is now behind 0-2. Gillis at third with two down. 0-2 count to the Maddogs' third baseman. Fastball up and away, 1-2. Shortstop Danny Crossman due up next if McLaughlin can get on base. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Draper. Both of his strikeouts have ended the inning, and we go to the second. Go to the third rather. Still 4-0 Blue Sox. Are you down with the sound called LSP? Of course you are. Then follow and support us on the web, Linktree, Facebook, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. Flash the subscribe button. Membership's also available for $5 a month. PayPal and Creator Spring, LSP 37. All the cool kids are doing it. One 0 is the count to Anderson Jimenez against Scarice, who fires a strike in there. 1-1. The strikeout to end the bottom of the second by Draper was his 108th career strikeout, which puts him 5th on the all-time Blue Sox list since 2006 anyways. Next on the docket for Draper's climb in that department is Ryan O'Rourke. Nice pick at third by McLaughlin and the one-hop throw to first for out number 1. And certainly a sigh of relief there for Scarice and the Maddogs as They avoid allowing the leadoff man getting on base for the third time in 3 innings. So Jimenez is now 1 for 2 on a fine defensive play there. The stop on the smash to the hot corner, and then the one-hop throw into first base for the out. And here's Casserly. Ryan O'Rourke is next on the docket for Draper's climb up the Blue Sox strikeout list, and I'm not sure what's going on. We got someone on the outfield out there. I'm not sure if they are with the Mad Dogs or with anyone involved in this game, but that is certainly not the first time I have seen someone just drift onto the outfield in the middle of a game for some reason. I remember one time a guy riding his bike along the warning track in the middle of a game. Oh, nice stop at short onto first. Pick at first is in time. Back-to-back phenomenal plays by the left side of the Mad Dogs infield. First McLaughlin and then Crossman. 2 up, 2 down. Tough luck there for Cass as he is now 0 for 2. So it'll be up to Brian Acosta to keep the line moving. Led off the second with a double. Fouls off the first one here. 0-1. So Draper is now up to 108 strikeouts on his career. 10 now in his first 7 innings of 2026. Acosta is now behind 0-2. O'Rourke, as Acosta lines this one to McLaughlin for the out that retires the side. 3 hard-hit balls, but 3 phenomenal defensive plays by the left side of the Mad Dogs infield. And the Blue Sox go 1-2-3 for the first time tonight. And it is still 4-0 Blue Sox after 2.5. Our next broadcast will be tomorrow night, 7:25 air, 7:30 first pitch, as the Blue Sox travel back to Morelli Field at Melrose High School to take on the Melrose Americans. You can watch live, on demand, for free, anytime on this here YouTube channel. All right, now I finally get to finish the point that Drapes is now 5th since 2006 in Blue Sox history, again, since 2006. In strikeouts, next guy's got to catch is Ryan O'Rourke, who has had a paltry 159 in his 5 years with the Blue Sox. 94 of those coming in his dominating 2021 season, in which he went 8-0 in 9 appearances, 50 innings, with a .54 ERA, 94 strikeouts in 50 innings, almost 2 Ks per inning, and a .7 whip, and not to mention a 948 OPS at the plate with 2 doubles and 4 ribbies. Danny Crossman, who made one of the 3 fine defensive plays in the top half of this inning, will lead things off here in the bottom of the third. And he is ahead 1-0. Crossman, Roman, and then the leadoff man, Whitney, due up here in the bottom of the third for the Mad Dogs against Draper, who only needed 22 pitches to get through the first 2 innings. And he gets the call there, 2-1. Still hitter's count here for Crossman. Crossman takes high. A 3-1 count. Crossman was 1 for 3 with 2 walks and a couple of runs against the Blue Sox on Friday and takes on the inside corner to fill the count. He is 2 for 5 on the young season with 3 walks. And he fouls that one off. Probably would have been too high. Could have been ball 4, which spoils it. And hoping that maybe Drapes will bring something a little close to the belt here on another 3-2. Hits this one into shallow left, and AJ's got it for out number 1. So now here's Hector Roman. He is in the 10 slot tonight after being the number 3 hitter on Friday. Drapes gets ahead of him. 0-1. Drapes now at the 30-pitch mark through 2 1/3 innings, and Scarice threw 30 pitches in each of the first 2 innings. Only needed 9 pitches, though, to get through that 1-2-3 top of the third. Two and 1. Roman with a hit in every game so far this year, 4 for 8 with 4 ribbies. Fouls that one straight back, and that's kind of why I don't have the camera against the fence here at Maplewood. Roman has a career .845 OPS since 2021 with the Mad Dogs. Strokes this one into left center field, but that will be run down for out number 2 by Cass. So the lineup turns over for Luke Whitney, who lined out to short to begin the night offensively for the Mad Dogs, leading off the bottom of the first, and he takes up and away for a ball. 13 pitches now in this bottom of the third for Drapes. That is the most pitches he has thrown in any inning so far. Next one will extend that. Oof. Whitney pulled the trigger way too early there, and he knew it. It is 1-1. Good problem to have, though, if 14 is your max for pitches in an inning. Oh, dear. That is fouled off of Witt, and he is in pain. Try and walk it off here. Clearly a little bit of a limp, favoring his right leg. And hopefully he'll be okay to continue. Henry Barfield coming in for the third base coach's box to make sure that his leadoff man and center fielder is going to be okay, but never like to see something like that. He's clearly feeling something. Is Whitney. Going to be good to continue. His question, still shaking it out. He's got the helmet back. Trying to make sure everything's in the same place. I mean, you never want to be the kind of guy to take yourself out of the game, but He's getting some water here, making sure he's good to go. And Luke Mealy offering him his helmet back, and should be good to go, it seems. Well, he's got the helmet back on, but just still bending over, just trying to shake things out, make sure he's good to go. I mean, with your leadoff man, it's the kind of thing where, like, wouldn't you want to try, like, jog a bit up the baseline to see if maybe you could run something out if you have to? Well, he's going to be good to go, it seems. All right. So Witt, after fouling that one off, is in a 1-2 hole here with 2 down and the base is empty in the bottom of the third. And Draper comes set and delivers. Fouled off. Luke Mealy due up next if Whitney can battle back here. Draper comes set. 1-2. Ooh. Too much mustard and let it go too early, too. Count is even. Drapes comes set. Full count. Great battle here by Whitney, especially after that painful foul off. To fall behind 1-2. Hoping to get on for Mealy, who's on deck. Payoff pitch, here it is. Outside for ball 4, and the inning continues. And perhaps most critically of all, it continues for Luke Mealy. First walk allowed by Draper tonight, denying him of his first 1-2-3 inning. Allowed a single in each of the first 2 innings, and a check swing by Mealy is fouled off for strike number 1. Mealy with a 1-pitch ground out to second his first time up. Grounds this one off of Draper's glove. Throw to first is not in time. A nice diving stop up the middle, but too late to get the force at second. It's an infield single for Mealy, and that puts runners at first and second for Derek Bauer. Up and away for a ball to Derek Bauer, who has light tower power. Fouls that one off. It'll be 1-1. So Draper has more than doubled his pitch count in this third inning alone. 23 pitches to this point in the bottom of the third, after 22 pitches combined through the first 2. Swing and a miss. 1-2. First 2 batters retired on a pop-up to short and a fly out to left, but then Whitney, after fouling one off his foot, able to work a walk, then Mealy with an infield single. Let's see what Bauer can do here. Little blooper right side, over the second baseman's head into right field. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's not in time. RBI single for Derek Bauer. A little bit of a cause for concern there for Maddogs fans as Whitney kind of did a barrel roll in the home plate, but in the process, Mealy gets to third. That puts the tying run at the plate in the person of Sam Browning. Browning 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Fouls this one off. 1-1 is the count. So Bauer's now 2 for 2. Sam Browning hoping to get a hold of one and maybe tie this game. Swings and misses on that one, though. Count will be 1-2. Runners at the corners with 2 down. First 2 were retired, but a walk by Whitney, a single by Mealy, and a single by Maurer. Bauer got a 45-foot lead, basically, and Draper said, whatever. Just deal with the batter here. Well, that's what they often say. The situation like this, just get your ender, worry about the batter. But now a base hit could bring home 2. 1-2 is the count. Here's the pitch. Down and away, gets to the backstop. Here comes the throw. It is offline. A wild pitch allows Mealy to score and then puts Bauer at third. It is 4-2. Again, don't. Fly ball the other way, foul and out of play. Boy, this this inning went from typical Draper dominance to the Maddogs having the tying run at the plate in the blink of an eye. Up and away for a ball, and it's a full count. 22 pitches for the first 2 innings for Draper. 32 in this third inning alone. Zev Moore due up next. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Side is retired. Browning goes down on strikes for the second time. The Maddogs get 2 runs, though, on 2 hits and leave a man at third. We are through 3, 4-2, Blue Sox. LSP and Shipping Shield are partners in cards. Shipping Shields are the eco-friendly sports and gaming card shipping protectors trusted by yours truly, made in the U.S. and Canada on 100% recyclable cardboard. Use the link and codes on the screen or in the description for a discount on your order. We may receive a commission from those orders, but we thank you for your continued support of whatever this is. Sorry for the untypical of me silence. Starting out here at the top of the fourth, just getting some scoring sorted out here. As will be Harry Tucker lining this one into center field for a base hit, his first hit of the ball game. First hit since Ramirez's single back in the second. Company-wide meeting before Brendan Doyle takes his turn at bat. So Tucker's now 1 for 2 with a ribby, and here is Doyle, who singled his first time up, came around to score on Pasiak's triple. And Doyle pops this one up foul. Into and through the screen for strike one. Here in the top of the fourth at Maplewood Park. Second game in 4 days between the Maddogs and the Blue Sox. This is the only date that the Blue Sox are scheduled to come to Maplewood this year. Have a road game against the Chiefs on the day of baseball. This will be flared into right field, and that will be run down for an out. So Doyle is retired, and the lineup will turn over for Jack Pasiak, who has been a very tough out in 2+ games this season for the Blue Sox. Already 2 for 2 tonight with a couple of runs, an RBI, a stolen base, a triple among his 2 hits. And hoping for more here to get back one of the runs that the Mad Dogs scored in the bottom of the third, but he falls behind 0-1. And the Blue Sox will play a road game against the Chiefs at LHS the day of baseball. And then there are 2 games on the road against the Middlesex Expos. One will be at Lawrence High School, and the other will be at East Boston Stadium. Fouled off. Count remains 0-2 to Jack Pasiak. Mad Dogs hoping to retire him for the first time tonight. Outside. 1-2. Strike 3, the inning is over. Blue Sox don't get anything out of the 1-out single by Tucker. Pasiak is retired for the first time tonight. And we go to the bottom of the fourth, halfway home, 4-2 Blue Sox. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Sponsor our content for as little as $25 a spot, whether you want to promote a business, product, or event, or send a message of support to a player, team, or coach. Email yours truly for all the deets. And we go to the bottom of the fourth. Draper hoping for a little more economical inning here in the third inning. Breeze through the first two on just 22 pitches. Needed 33 to get through the third and allowed 2 runs on 2 hits and a walk along the way. But ended the third the same way he ended the first 2 innings, with a strikeout. I mean, there's no bad time for a strikeout as far as the pitcher is concerned, but that was a pretty crucial one there of Sam Browning, as he represented the tying run, with Derek Bauer standing 90 feet away, threatening to cut it down to a 1-run lead. But Zev Moore is behind 0-2 as the leadoff man here in the bottom of the fourth. And just missed with the fastball, 1-2. Moore with a single to lead off the second, his first time up, and then was retired on a 6-4 fielder's choice. 1-2. Down low. 2-2. So it may not have been the same mountain to climb for the Maddogs as it was on Friday night, but they fall behind early, but they've cut the lead in half here, 4-2, and hoping to cut into it even more. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The first strikeout of the night for Draper that doesn't end an inning. This one begins it, 1 down. 4th K now for Draper, who's now up to 110 in his career. And as I mentioned earlier, thanks to the note from Bruce Hack, that he is now top 5 in Blue Sox history, at least since 2006, with now 110 strikeouts, but still 50 shy of passing Ryan O'Rourke for 4th all-time, as this is poked into right center field for a base hit by Logan Gillis. He'll hold up with a single. So Gillis aboard for the second time after reaching on a fielder's choice, and then getting to second, eventually to third after the error on the return throw on what would have been the double play off Gillis's bat. Finished that inning stranded at third. First pitch to Colin Kinsella is on the inside corner for a strike, 0-1. Fouled off the other way. Friday night, the Blue Sox home opener set a couple of records. Or close to records anyways. That's grounded to first, and they will, oh, wait, hang on. No, it's not a grounder at all. It was a foul off of Kinsella in the batter's box. So that will send Gillis back to first and do it again at 0-2. The 6-run first inning against the Maddogs on Friday was the biggest first inning for a Blue Sox home opener. And the 1 run shy of the team record for runs in a first inning. It was on June 19th of last year against Al Thomas. That one gets away, and to second goes Gillis. Gillis in scoring position on the wild pitch. Remember, Kinsella representing the tying run here in the bottom of the fourth. Inside corner, strike 3 called. 2 down. That is the first called third strike of the night for Drapes. And let's see what Teddy McLaughlin can do. Struck out swinging his first time up to end the second. Hoping to avoid a similar fate here. Grounder to third. Ramirez in time. And the side is retired, so nothing happens after the single for Gillis and him getting into scoring position on the wild pitch. And we go to the fifth. 4-2, Blue Sox. The LSP store is open. Get yourself one of several different designs of stickers, shirts, or other merch, including some stuff with my dog, Tina the Long Arena on it, and some words I've probably said on this here YouTube channel over the years, including the new shirt that you don't see there on the screen. But if you go to the QR code on your screen, you'll see the new Baseball is So Stupid merch. Tell me when I'm telling lies. Thank you. Yep. Butter's just giving me some position updates. We'll give those to you in just a moment. So before we go further into the notes on Friday's home opener, tell you about the new whip for the Malden Maddogs. It's Matt Babigian, who took the L on Friday, just went 1 inning and allowed 2 hits, 3 earned runs, walked 3, and struck out 1. And his assignment to start his night will be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, McElroy, Ramirez, and Landero. Since 2006, Friday's game for the Blue Sox was just the third in which they had scored a run in every inning. And all 3 of those games have been against the Maddogs. The others were on July 29th, 2021, which they won 18-0. But didn't score any more than 4 runs in any inning. And then the next night, again not scoring more than 4 runs in any inning, but still pulled off a 14-5 win against the Maddogs. And those 13 consecutive innings in which they scored in those 2 games is a team record. So here is McElroy to lead things off at the top of the 5th against the new whip Babigian, and Babigian gets ahead with strike 1. McElroy is 1 for 2 with an RBI double. Takes high for a ball, and the count will be 1-1. 4-2 is our score. The Blue Sox with 1 in the first and 3 in the second. The Maddogs responding with 2 in the bottom of the third. There'll be a pop-up on the right side going into foul territory, and then behind the Maddogs dugout to make it 1-2. McElroy made a season debut against the Maddogs on Friday night, going 1 for 2 with 2 ribbies, 2 runs, and a walk. Blue Sox career OPS of .920 in 31 games, 86 ABs. This, of course, does not include tonight. Career high 5 doubles and 12 ribbies. Last year, 8 walks to just 7 strikeouts and 8 steals in 10 attempts. McElroy might have gotten something in his eye there, but he seems to be all right. Outside corner, strike 3 called. Sabigian retires his first assignment on the first called third strike against the Blue Sox tonight. And here is Eric Ramirez, who is 2 for 2 with a couple of singles and a stolen base. Just high for a ball. And the count will be 1-0, rather. Big rip there by E, but he comes up empty, and it is 1-1. So as long as I'm telling you about all these offensive performances about the Blue Sox, especially against the Maddogs, might be a good time to give you the answer to our Blue Sox baseball trivia question before Luke Mealy and Jeff Costello, who was the last ICL player to win any 3 as Ramirez hits the deck. Woofa. Was the last ICL player to win any 3 of the ICL MVP, rookie hitter, outstanding hitter, and batting title awards in the same season, as Ramirez just walking it off here. Holding his left wrist for all this. It's been kind of a rough and tumble night now with he had Whitney foul one off his foot. Actually stayed in and worked a walk. Ramirez calling off Rick DeAngelis and Brian Acosta and whatnot. Now, Rick DeAngelis saying, wait, was this a hit by pitch or was it a foul ball? It is a hit by pitch. Hit his wrist. That's what it looked like. And Eric Barfield's coming out to protest, but it's going to give Ramirez first base on the will be on board for the 3rd time in as many plate appearances. Putters, I don't know what he had to say there against Eric as he took his base, but anyways, here's Frank Landero. So to answer the trivia question, last player to win any 3 of those awards in the same season before Costello and Mealy. Called strike. They got him. Cannon there by Colin Kinsella on a man who is not shy at all. About running, but caught his hand in the cookie jar there. Mike Hart, Sioux Falls Canaries great, UMass Amherst great, Blue Sox great, 2015 with those video game numbers that I often refer to. Yeah, that was his batting average the year he won the batting title, MVP, and that was his OPS the year he won outstanding hitter in that 2015 campaign, which the Blue Sox overall, went 30-5, played maybe the greatest game in ICL history in Game 3 of the championship series, hit that game-tying home run. They later told me he blacked out around the bases. My voice climbed 10 octaves. And then eventually, game was decided on a walk-off squeeze by Josue Feliciano. A game with all that firepower and all that emotion behind it, with both Jeff Vigers and Rick DeAngelis getting tossed at one point, was decided on a walk-off squeeze of all things. Landero draws a 2-out walk, and that continues the inning for AJ. It was 67 degrees at first pitch. Forecast calls for it to get down to as low as 54 tonight here in Malden. as the breeze is blowing in a little bit from left field, and that is strike one to Andy. Jimenez 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out to third. Outside for a ball. Evens the count at 1. About the hour-and-a-half mark of this ball game, approaching that anyways. 4-2 games. The Blue Sox haven't scored since the second. It's a 3-spot in the second. Jimenez grounds his one left side, fielded nicely. He'll get the force at second base for the out that retires the side, and we go to the bottom of the fifth. Still 4-2 Blue Sox. Are you down with the sound called LSP? Of course you are. Then follow and support us on the web, Linktree, Facebook, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. Flash subscribe button. Membership's also available for $5 a month. PayPal Career Spring, LSP 37. It's the right thing to do. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Matty Draper back out there. 68 pitches through 4 innings. And an easier inning in the fourth. Needed that. And for the rough and tumble third, in which the Mad Dogs cut the deficit in half, it'll face 9, 10, and 1 in Crossman, Roman, and Whitney. Crossman takes a strike, and the count will be 0-1. Hits this one into left center field, but got under it a bit too much, and it'll be caught for out number 1. Tracked down by the center fielder, Jake McElroy. Crossman is 0 for 2. Here is Hector Roman. Flew out to left his first time up in the third. And that'll be in there for a strike, 0-1. This was the part of the lineup that was due up in that third in which the Mad Dogs scored their 2 runs. Crossman was retired on a pop-up to short, and then Roman flew out to left before 3 consecutive 2-out base runners. Brought home 2 runs for the Mad Dogs, but Draper was able to get out of there with just the 2 runs allowed. The tying run at the plate for the Mad Dogs struck out Sam Browning swinging. 2-1 to Roman. Grounds this one up the middle. Jimenez! Yes! 2 down. Close play there. Jimenez ranging well to his left to cut that one off. Lineup turns over for Whitney. Let's see how he's feeling. Lining out to short in the first, and then working a walk after fouling one off his foot last time up. He takes a strike there, 0-1. In the top of the 6th, the Blue Sox will have Casserly, Acosta, and Sanchez due up. Just a bit low, and the count will be 1-1. in there for a strike. 1-2. Oof, just missed the inside corner there. Pushed Whitney off the plate a little bit, and it is 2-2. So when you come inside like that, you're going to try something down and away off speed. Let's see on 2-2. Well, he did try something down and away, but Whitney wouldn't bite, and it'll go to a full count with Luke Mealy, the reigning ICL everything, due up next, representing the tying run. But not if Draper can retire Whitney. Payoff pitch. Grounder to the right side, fielded at second by Landero, on to first for the out. That retires the side. 80 pitches through 5 innings in a 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of the 5th for Draper, and the Blue Sox lead 4-2 as we go to the 6th. Our next broadcast is going to be tomorrow night, 7:25 air, 7:30 first pitch for the Blue Sox and the Melrose Americans at Morelli Field at Melrose High School. You can watch for free, live and on demand anytime on this here YouTube channel. Top of the 6th, Pat Casserly, Brian Acosta, and Manny Sanchez due up. And that'll be down and away for a ball to Cass, who's looking to get on base for the first time tonight. He is 0 for 2 with a ground out to second and a ground out to short. Babidjian back on there for his second inning of work. 15 pitches in the 5th. Pine 1-0 here to start the 6th. Able to hold up his Cass, and he has a hitter's count here, 2-0. Cass takes low, 3-0. Blue Sox had 4 runs on 8 hits through the first 2 innings. As that is taken for a ball, it is a 4-pitch walk to begin the top of the 6th for the Blue Sox. So 4 runs on 8 hits for the first 2 innings, but just 1 hit since. A Tucker single with 1 out in the 4th. It's the second walk, though, that the Blue Sox have drawn that time, plus a hit by pitch of Ramirez. Now let's see what Acosta can do. 1 for 2 with double and a run scored. And that is ball 5. 5 consecutive balls to start the inning from Babidjian. And Acosta had 1-0. That hits the outside corner, 1-1. You may have seen videos of it online, but if you're ever an opposing pitcher at Texas A&M and you let batter go on 4 consecutive balls, the crowd will start chanting ball 5, and then they will keep going with each consecutive ball that you throw. Ball 6, ball 7, ball 8. I think the clip that I saw, I think it went all the way up to like ball like 12 or something before the pitcher finally threw a strike. And if you think playing football at Kyle Field is tough, I mean, it may not be the same number of people, but it's a little more confined there at a college baseball stadium, and it will rattle you. Right now, though, Costa rattled by that last pitch. He is ahead, though, 3-1. And that goes to the backstop for ball 4, and no need for Casserly to push it after that. So 9 pitches, 2 walks to begin the 6th, and now we are going to have a pitching change come to you from the Wood. As it says on the front of the Mad Dogs, I guess you could say City Connect jerseys. LSP and Shipping Shield are partners in cards. Shipping Shields are the eco-friendly sports and gaming card shipping protectors trusted by yours truly, made in the U.S. and Canada on 100% recyclable cardboard. Use the link and codes on the screen or in the description for a discount on your order. We may receive a commission from those orders, but we thank you for your continued support of whatever this is. New wit for the Malden Mad Dogs is the right-hander Rob Carrillo. He's making his 2nd appearance of the year. Appeared in the game on Wednesday the 27th against the Expos. Went 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs, and no walks while striking out 1. And we got a pinch hitter for Manny Sanchez to greet Rob Carrillo. It is Luke Ward. And Carrillo misses up and away for ball 1. 2 runners on already. Ward settling in here, 1 for 5 through the first 2 games. 1 hit came against the Mad Dogs, 1 for 3 of the runs scored on Friday night. That is down and away, 2-0 to Luke. Luke slashed 273, 429, 409 last year with 1 RBI and 9 walks. That is down and in. The count is 3-0 to Luke Ward. Upstairs, there have been 13 pitches in this inning by Mad Dogs Arms. 12 of them have been balls. And the bases are loaded with nobody out for Harry Tucker. Tucker is 1 for 2 with the only hit for the Blue Sox since that 3-run second inning. And he takes upstairs for a ball. 1-0. Casserly at third, Acosta at second, Ward at first. Woof. 2-0. For all the years I've been working games directly behind home plate, you would think I wouldn't flinch, but even that one, and Ward swings and misses over the top of that one. Might have helped him out a little bit, but it is still, Tucker rather, not Ward. Might have helped him out a little bit, but it's still 2-1. Hitters count here with the bases loaded and nobody out in the sixth. That runs inside, and the count goes to 3-1. Corner infielders are in. Force at any base in effect here, including home. Up and away. Ball 4. 4 consecutive walks to start the top of the sixth. There have been 18 pitches in this inning, 16 balls. Here's Brendan Doyle coming up empty for strike 1. Like, at what point at a Blue Sox batter do you just do the Statue of Liberty play? You know, just stand there, make him prove he can throw a strike, but there is the short backstop coming into play here to save the Maddogs a little bit. Any other park, that is probably Acosta coming in with run number 6. Here it is just ball 1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Acosta at third, Ward at second, Tucker at first for Doyle, who is 1 for 2 with a single, a run scored, and a fly out to right. Outside corner, strike 3 called. Massive first out there. Bases remain loaded, and now the lineup turns over for Pasiak. 2 for 3, single stealing a run in the first, tripling a run in the second, strikeout swinging in the fourth. Take strike 1 on the inside corner, 0-1. Blue Sox hoping to cash in with more than just the 1 run after the first 4 reached on the base on balls, but Pasiak comes up empty there, and it is 0-2. Oh, they called a balk. So that's going to bring home the run. Acosta, negate that play that might have resulted in out. I'm not 100% sure. So it'll make it 6-2 after all that. Still 0-2 count, though. Infield comes in. That gets to the backstop, and then ricochets over towards the Blue Sox dugout. And the wild pitch will bring home Ward. One and 2 is the count to Pasiak. Grounds this one to the left side, bobbled at short. Pasiak! They rolled him safe. Pasiak can fly. There's a bit of a bobble at short. It was a good recovery, though, after the bobble by Crossman. Might have gotten there in time to Bauer, but Bauer, I guess, did not secure the ball on the throw. Otherwise, that is an impressive play to get a speedster in Pasiak. Tucker comes home to score. So runner at first, one down. Blue Sox with 4 runs here in the top of the 6. All four, the first 4 batters reaching on walks. This one's down the line for extra bases. Here comes the relay to the plate. Will not even get as far as third base. RBI double for Jake McElroy. McElroy with his second double of the night. Pasiak scores his 3rd run. Last one was also scored on that last McElroy double. 9-2. Here's Ramirez swinging in, missing for strike 1. And I understand his mindset there. Want to go for broke, try and really deliver the knockout blow. But, pride goeth before our fall. Oh and 2. Grounds this one to the left side, on to first in time. To third goes McElroy. And there are 2 down. Ramirez retired for the first time tonight. And here's Landero. 0 for 2 with a walk, his last time up. Flares this one into left, and that gets down for a base hit to plate McElroy. And make it 10-2. Now the throw gets away, and they nearly got Landero try to stretch it, and, well, Blue Sox trying to put this one firmly in the rearview mirror. Seems they have done so. This one with 6 runs in this top of the 6th. Anderson Jimenez will be the 10th man to bat in the inning. Jimenez with a single and a stolen base in the first, a ground out in the 3rd, and ground into a fielder's choice to end the 5th. Looked like for a moment that even though Maddogs walked the first 4 batters of this inning, they would had a chance to get out of this with somewhat minimal damage, but the Blue Sox have cashed in. All 4 of those batters that walked have scored, plus Pasiak and McElroy, to make it a 10-2 ball game. And now it is ball 3. 3-0 to Jimenez, the man who got this party started. Casserly due up next. And in the bottom of the 6th, the Mad Dogs will have 2, 3, and 4 due up. Mealy, Bauer, and Browning. 3-0 to AJ. High for ball 4. Carrillo just flips the ball to Butterfield, and we have another pitching change coming to you from the Wood. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Sponsor our content for as little as $25 a spot, whether you want to promote a business, product, or event, or send a message of support to a player, team, or coach, or a message or a happy birthday message to a broadcaster's nephew. Email yours truly for all the deets. And the new whip for the Malden Maddogs is the lefty Caleb Worster, making his second appearance of the year. Went 2 innings, allowed 2 earned runs on 3 walks and 3 strikeouts, plus 1 hit batter on Wednesday the 27th against the Middlesex Expos. Worster is a Brockton native who was drafted in the 15th round out of Yukon by the Miami Marlins. And his first assignment, we'll have to wait. It's Pat Casserly. Got this party started with a leadoff walk. It's the 11th man to bat in the inning. Blue Sox batting around here in the top of the 6th, already plating 6 runs to try and put the Mad Dogs firmly in the rearview mirror and arrive at their 3rd win of the season. That'll be taken on the outside corner for a strike by Casserly, and the count will be 0-1 with Landero at second and Jimenez at first. Worster looking at second and coming home with it. Down away, gets to the backstop, and both runners will advance on ball 1. Worster coming set with 2 runners in scoring position, and Casserly comes up empty there, strike 2. Worster, the year he was drafted by the Marlins, 2021, was 4-1 with a 2.85 ERA in 41 innings. For the Yukon Huskies, 52 strikeouts in those 41 innings, in fact. 1-2 to Cass. Here it comes. Lined foul. Do it again in 1-2. .23 at high A and double A in the Marlins system. Worster went 6-5 in 63 1/3 innings with a 2.27 ERA. Check swing on a pitch down and away, able to hold up, and it is 2-2. Swing and a miss. Brought the heat. For the out, that retires the side, but the Blue Sox pick up 6 runs on 5 walks and 3 hits and lead 10-2 after 5.5. The LSP store is open. Get yourself one of several different designs of stickers, shirts, or other merch, including some stuff with my dog T and the long arena on it, and some words I've probably said on this here YouTube channel over the years, including the new "Baseball is so stupid" shirts and stickers. Available on the Spring store, which you can visit by scanning the QR code on your screen right now. Nice scoop at first base by Frank Landero for the first out of the bottom of the 6th, which Draper returns to the mound for. Actually, some changes here in the that we actually I wasn't able to get to you sooner. Well, actually, was not Luke Ward who was batting just now in Sanchez's slot. Mad apologies to all involved. That was Carter Crowley. He was wearing number 19, making his Blue Sox debut, and I feel really bad because that was I was talking to him before the game, in fact, and talking to Rick before the games. Thought he was going to wear 48. He was wearing 19, and that's usually Luke's number, and Luke's a left-handed batter, and yeah, a little very muddled up here, by the way. Mealy retired. Bauer. Takes a 5-pitch walk. So Frank Landero now playing first. Crowley's playing second in Sanchez's slot. Tucker's in left now. That'll be on the outside corner for strike 1 to Sam Browning. So for 2 with a couple of Ks. Fouled off. 0-2. So double-digit runs for the Blue Sox in back-to-back games. And good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Sam Browning, who goes down on strikes for the 3rd time tonight, 2 down. See what Zev Moore can do. 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Maddogs down their final 4 outs and takes down away for ball 1. In the top of the 7th, Blue Sox will have Acosta, Crowley, and Tucker due up. It's in there for a strike. 1-1. Got to turn on the first base marker there for one Derek Bauer. Sorry about that, man. Strike 2. 1-2 is the count. To Zev Moore, and Draper hoping to finish off 6 innings strong. Fouled off. It was still 4-2. I think you might have seen a new whip out there this inning for the Blue Sox, but the 6-run outburst in the top half of this inning gave him a cushion. Just trying to shove here, empty the bucket, and misses outside. Run to 2-2. Never be too sure, though, against the Maddogs offense. Remember, the Blue Sox were up 8-0 after 2 innings on Friday night. Maddogs came all the way back to tie it. Oh, boy. I mean, I think that's the right call, too, but that's something you want, obviously, as a pitcher. At any rate, Derek Bauer will be off with the next pitch, 3-2, with 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Here it is. Grounder to the right side. Bauer's a little bit of a screener there for Crowley at second, but he fires on to Landero for the out. That retires the side. 96 pitches through 6 innings for Matt Draper, and it's still 10-2 Blue Sox after 6. All right, down with the sound called LSP. Of course you are. And follow and support us on the web, Linktree, Facebook, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. Flash the subscribe button. Membership's also available for $5 a month. PayPal, Creator Spring, LSP 37. It tastes great on a cracker. Worcester back out there for his first full inning of work anyways. And he will be greeted by one Giancarlos Ramirez to begin the top of the 7th. It takes over for Acosta, who went 1 for 2 with a double, a walk, and a couple of runs. And JC takes a big rip and comes up empty for strike 1 for the first pitch of the 7th inning. The Blue Sox led 4-0 after a buck and a half. Maddogs cut that lead in half in the bottom of the 3rd. Made it 4-2 and made it close for a while, but then the Blue Sox exploded for 6 runs in the top of the 6th, thanks in large part to 4 walks on, 18 pitches. All hesitation move. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, Giancarlos Ramirez for out number 1. First 4 batters reach on, 18 pitches or some for the Blue Sox at the top of the 6th. All 4 of those batters scored. It ended up being 6 runs on just 3 hits. There ended up being 5 total walks in the inning for the Blue Sox. They also tacked on AJ's walk before Cass struck out to end the inning. Here is Crowley, not Luke Ward, taking a strike. 0-1, lefty on lefty here. Crowley worked a walk and came around to score in the last inning. Taking over in the slot occupied by Manny Sanchez to begin the ball game. It's now Crowley at second. Tucker, his spot is on deck, is in left, and Frank Landero moved from second to first. Fouled straight back. Remains 0-2. Only one other game on the ICL slate tonight, and that is the Sabres and the Chiefs. Excuse me, the schedule's already moved to Wednesday, it seems, but Sabres and the Bulldogs at LHS, they got underway at 7 o'clock. Now Crowley goes down looking, and here's Tucker. Check swing, appeal to first, no swing, ball one. Tucker 1 for 2 with a single, a walk, and a run scored. In the bottom of the seventh, the Mad Dogs are going to have Gillis, Kinsella, and McLaughlin due up. Down the pipe for a strike. No debate on that one, and it is 1-1. Sox back in action tomorrow night again against the Americans. Sabres will visit the Chiefs here at Maplewood. It'll be Friday night lights again for the Blue Sox Friday night when they host the Middlesex Expos. Swing and a miss, strike two. And just a programming note, we're not going to be broadcasting the annual exhibition against the Katuitt Kettleers on Sunday, but we invite you to tune in to the Kettleers live stream for coverage of that one, as that is in there for strike three called. And the side is retired. We go to the bottom of the seventh. Closing time for the Blue Sox. Up 10-2. And as I said, our next broadcast will be tomorrow night, 7:25, air 7:30. First pitch for the Blue Sox, taking on the Melrose Americans from Morelli Field at Melrose High. You can watch the game live, on demand, free, anytime on this here YouTube channel. New whip for the Blue Sox will be Nick Hart, who just finished his sophomore year at Brandeis, native of Winchester. Played his prep ball at Belmont Hill, was also a 3-year letter winner for Belmont Hill in soccer, as well as a 2-year letter winner at baseball. Actually won the ISL his junior year with Belmont Hill. There's a grounder to third. Ramirez, 1 down. Maybe a 10-2 lead, but you still got to get your outs. 1 up, 1 down for Hart. Here is Kinsella. Strike 1. Hart only pitched in 2 games this season for the Judges. And 2/3 of an inning against CCNY. On 1 hit, 2 runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout, and then went a third of an inning and struck out 1 batter against NYU. Brandeis, of course, the alma mater of Drew Brzezowski, who and one of the best pitching performances of his career on this field 13 years ago this summer. He pitched the Blue Sox to victory over the Chiefs in Game 5 of the ICL Championship Series. That goes down and in for ball 4, and it is a 1-out walk. Yep. Got a pinch hitter here for McLaughlin. It's going to be O'Connell. And that'll miss inside to Braden O'Connell for ball 1. O'Connell looking for his first hit of the year. He's 0 for 7, although with an RBI and a walk. Fouls that one off, and the count will be 1-1. Here's my point about Brzezowski. He pitched complete game victories for the Blue Sox. In Game 5 of the ICL Championship Series against the Andre Chiefs in 3 consecutive odd-numbered years. And if that's not a baseball statistic, I don't know what is. 2009, 2011, and 2013. All 3 different ballparks, too. 09 at Tufts, 11 at LHS, 13 here. Outside corner, strike 3 called. 2 down. Crossman behind 0-1 as the Maddogs are down to their final strike. Crossman's 0 for 2. A pop-up to short and a fly out to center. Broken back grounder to the right side, on to first, and the Blue Sox have started 2026 3-0 with double figures for the second consecutive game against the Malden Maddogs, a 10-2 final. Matt Draper picks up the dub. Owen Scarice takes the L. No save. Jake Pasiak goes 3 for 4 with a triple and 3 runs scored. Jake McElroy goes 2 for 4 with 2 doubles and a couple ribbies and a run scored. Also a stolen base, by the way, for Pasiak. Ramirez goes 2 for 3 with a couple of singles. Brian Acosta 1 for 2 with a walk, a double, couple of runs scored. It was that 6-run 6th inning that started with 4 walks on 18 pitches that put this one in the rearview mirror for the Blue Sox as they improve to 3-0, and the Mad Dogs fall to 1-3. So with that said, this has been a presentation of LSP, something for everyone for a decade and a half. You can believe it. Copyright 2026, unauthorized redistribution of any portion of this broadcast without the express written permission of LSP or the Blue Sox is strictly prohibited. A reminder that if you'd like to support future LSP content, you can do so by buying Shipping Shields, the eco-friendly sports and gaming card shipping protectors trusted by yours truly, using the link and codes on the screen or in the description. Just straight up buy some advertising space on these broadcasts. This is $25 a spot. You know how to reach me. Buy some of this fabulous merchandise from the LSP store. Scan the QR code to go to Spring right now to buy. And, of course, if you are down with the sound called LSP, Linktree, Facebook, YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. Flash the subscribe button. Membership's also available for $5 a month. PayPal and Creator Spring, LSP37. The QR code has all the deets there. We'll see you fine folks tomorrow night, 7:25 air, 7:30 first pitch for the Blue Sox taking on the Melrose Americans from Morelli Field at Melrose High. And you can watch that in every LSP broadcast, live, free, on demand, whenever, wherever, however. Once again, the final score from Maplewood Park at Malden Catholic High School, Malden, Mass. It is the Lexington Blue Sox 10 and the Malden Mad Dogs 2. For all my rowdy friends here at Maplewood, my name is Sam Feely, reminding you forever and always, freelance isn't free. Thanks for tuning in. Fresh for 2026, suckers. Love you, Katrina. Party hard, Caitlin. Miss you, Tina. Happy birthday, Flynn.